Okay, gang, we are at Cayuga State Park. This is Cayuga Lake, which is one of the larger of the Finger Lakes. I believe it's the largest or the second largest of the Finger Lakes in central New York, and we're in for a real treat. This is Chris, the Spyder Minimalist, and I'm taking 2 days to show you Ithaca and its surrounding areas. There's so much to see in Ithaca that it's just a breathtaking place to visit. Now, it's a miserable day today. It was rainy. I've got my rain gear on now. Through most of the heavy rains, I didn't have my rain gear on. I stopped for gas, put the rain gear on, and of course now it looks like it's lit up, and I've got my phone back on my quad lock mount. This video is going to be basically our ride along Cayuga Lake, and we're going to, the terminus of this video is going to be Tagonic Falls State Park. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on Tagonic Falls, which is just breathtaking, but this video is going to be, it's about a 45-minute drive along this lake to the destination of Tagonic Falls State Park. This is not going to be a 45-minute video, obviously. Those of you who watch my videos know I like to edit them tightly, or at least I try. But I think you're going to really appreciate this ride. I really do. So again, we are at Cayuga Lake State Park. We're going to pull out of this park area now, get on Route 89. And Route 89 basically follows the lake. At some points of the route, it gets close to the lake, and some points it's a little further away where you can't even see it. I'm going to make sure I edit this video so you're only on the ride when you can see this beautiful, huge lake. The Finger Lakes are nothing like the Great Lakes, which are truly huge. Really, they're small seas. But Cayuga Lake and the rest of the Finger Lakes are beautiful. And this area is beautiful, and those lakes were formed, you know, thousands or however many years ago, because this area is so rippled and knotted with gorges, deep, deep gorges. And in fact, Ithaca's tourism slogan is Ithaca is gorgeous, because it is gorgeous. There are state parks in Ithaca. There are multiple, with beautiful trails that were carved, many of them during the Great Depression, by the Civilian Conservation Corps. So when you ride by the lake in the winter, when the foliage isn't on the trees, you can appreciate it much more. But we can still appreciate it today. I love how there are these docks along the lake that I think are managed or owned by these people that own houses across the road from the lake. So I had stopped earlier and changed back to my non-rain gear, my summer weight gloves, took off the rain gear from my jacket and my pants. There again is beautiful Cayuga Lake. I was talking earlier about Ithaca being famous for its gorges, but of course, as many of you probably know, Ithaca is famous for two large educational institutions, Ithaca College and Cornell University, Cornell being part of the Ivy League. And it's just a great little town. It's a great place to visit. I happened upon Ithaca because my niece, one of my nieces, I don't know if you can see all the sheep over there. One of my nieces went to school there for a few years, and she graduated a couple of years ago. And I visited Ithaca for the first time in her first year of school there, and I just fell in love with the place and used to enjoy visiting her because Ithaca is such a great place to visit. I love visiting my niece and my goddaughter, of course, but Ithaca made it an easy place to want to visit. So when she graduated a couple of years ago, I keep coming. Now, you might be saying, why would you want to go to that place on a rainy, miserable day? And it's been rainy on and off for the past couple of weeks. I planned this trip so that you could get full enjoyment of those gorges and those state parks in the gorges because of this rainy weather. And I'll explain. So Ithaca is beautiful year-round. I've been here in brutal snowstorms, I've been here in the fall with the foliage. I've been here in the summer. It's a beautiful place to visit no matter the time of the year. But in the spring, after heavy rains, Ithaca is just an awesome place to visit because the rains, which pour into these creeks and these brooks and whatnot that flow through these gorges, they flow in and make the breathtaking scenery that you're about to see, not necessarily in this video, but in the 5 or 6 videos I'm going to shoot during this trip, it makes it much more breathtaking. So I've been planning this Ithaca trip around rain, and tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day, no rain, no chance of rain, and that's when we're really going to be doing some exploring. And I know I explained this earlier, but I'll be shooting let's say 5 or 6 videos on this entire 2-day trip, and I'll spread them out, so you might be watching these long after this trip is over. Now, some of you might be watching this in a year or 2 years or in 5 years, right? That's just the nature of YouTube. And I really need to get out of the business of mentioning the date, mentioning the time, mentioning my mileage, because then I have people saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't get it, because they might not be watching the day I'm necessarily posting or shooting the video. Ithaca also has, as you would imagine, with 2 large universities there, a really vibrant downtown. I'm staying at a Hilton Garden Inn downtown, but there's a number of hotels. These hotels, by the way, are booked solid when Ithaca or Cornell has their graduation. And one of them had their graduation last week, and one of them is having their graduation this week, I believe. And I planned this trip in the middle because the rates like triple at the hotels, and they make you stay 2 nights because they know they've got you. You don't have to stay 2 nights. If, like, I live 3 hours away, so when my niece graduated, I could just come here for 1 night and enjoy her graduation and the party we had, the dinner we had afterwards. But the hotels got you for 2 days. Now look, that's the free marketplace. I'm all for it. That's supply and demand. I get it. But I made sure I planned this trip not only to coincide with wet weather, but also around the Ithaca Cornell graduations. It looks like the rain is starting up again, of course, now that I take my rain gear off. So regarding Taganek Falls, the falls overlook, as this sign says, is at our next right. We're gonna do Taganek Falls, the actual waterfall, in a separate video, and it's got to be a video on its own because it's that worthy of its own video. But we'll head up that way to see the falls from what's called the overlook. Now down in the valley here, we're gonna, related to that video, we're gonna go on a little hike to get right under the, not under the waterfall, but right up close to it, because it's just spectacular. After the waterfall, it comes down this creek right here. Can you see that? And flows into Cayuga Lake. And I'm gonna just pull in here. We're gonna pull in there when we go on our hike to the falls, but for today we're gonna just check this out. We're gonna get up close and personal with Cayuga Lake, near the southern part of the lake. I don't know if this is open or not. No, which means we're free to do whatever we want. So we started the video, isn't that cool? It's a little boat marina there. Oh, and of course the geese. I wonder if we'll see some goslings on this video. We started the video at Cayuga Lake State Park, and we're going to end the video shortly. We're going to just check out all this has to offer. We're ending the video at Taganek Falls State Park. Now, Ithaca is just around that bend in the lake. It's the southern point of Cayuga Lake. And again, Cayuga Lake and Seneca Lake are the two largest lakes in the Finger Lake region, and they're huge. And they call them the Finger Lakes. If you look at on a map, they literally look like your fingers. And I think we can get over there as well and check that out. You know, all of this is dead because it's midweek, it's a terrible day, and it's mid-May, which is not like the peak time of the year for these parks. You come here in the summer, especially on a weekend. Isn't that pretty? I guess this guy's launching his boat. That's awesome. You come here on a weekend during the summer, even though the kids might not be here, these parks are packed. Well, folks, I think we've seen all we have to see. Anyway, I just want to end by saying thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for sticking with me. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, because there will be a series of videos that I'll be posting related to this Ithaca trip that you will not want to miss. I promise you, you will not want to miss it. Thank you again, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.